great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 552 of the Immigration Answer Show. It's our fourth show in a row, 4 days in a row. We're going to do 30 days for Ramadan. We'll be here, God willing, for all of Ramadan, each and every day for 1 hour, trying to answer all of your immigration-related questions. Syra's here in Atlanta. Hi, Syra. Salam's here. Marla's here. Michael's here. I saw Nurse Laura and Hope are here. How's everybody doing? Today's Thursday. We got like 1 day left after today. I'm going to do a little bit more work. I'm going to pick up Nora from soccer, and then I'm calling it a day. One of the nice things about Ramadan is you really slow down. You really slow down. And you sort of take things a lot more as they come, including crazy callers to this show, like that guy we had the other day who was trying to plug and play one wife for another. That was a crazy call. I made a TikTok about that. Speaking of TikTok, what do you guys think? Congress wants to ban TikTok in the United States. They say that the Chinese are spying on us with their algorithms. I guess if the NSA and the federal government can't spy on us, they don't want anybody else spying on us. So I don't know. But in any event, I was shocked, not so shocked, to see that on the same day that the House announced that they were going to try to ban TikTok unless they sell it to an American buyer, then all of a sudden, Donald Trump's former Treasury Secretary, Mnuchin, says he's going to buy it. Isn't that funny how those things work? What the heck is going on? This is no way to run a country. I really think that we're going to look back in this time period and people are going to say, what in the hell was going on? What was going on? I think a lot of this is post-COVID. I also think that a lot of this Tea Party into MAGA is because there's so many people in America who couldn't get over having a black president, and that a lot of this is a reaction to the fact that we had a cool, distinguished, articulate, awesome president named Barack Obama, that Trump in a lot of ways was a reaction to that, and that there's some white people who just can't get their mind around the fact that they ain't in charge anymore, and they ain't going to be in charge forever. So I think that's a lot of what's going on, but I sure would like to hear from you guys. Huli is here. She's monitoring the chat and monitoring the waiting room. But let's go ahead and get started. Puds is here. What do you say, Puds?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great.
doing good. Thank you for accepting my call, and also I enjoy your TikToks.
Thanks.
Awesome. So my friends, I have two friends. It's just some quick questions. I actually wrote them down to ask.
Oh,
so
great.
The first one is, her name is Sarah. So she lives in her question is, she said, I live in Wisconsin. My girlfriend migrated to the US a few months ago. I want to help with adjusting her status in Wisconsin. Same-sex marriage is not permitted. Can we do a destination wedding in another state? Can one be recommended? Also, she said when the appropriate time comes for her status to be adjusted in the state that she's living in, is that possible?
So I think those days for now are over. All 50 states allow same-sex marriage. It's illegal for a state to say that they can't have a same-sex marriage. So I think that person is incorrect.
She said that she actually, at her church, the bishop told her no. So
she might need a new church. That's a church rule. That the churches can do whatever they want. But as far as whether the government of the state can issue a license because of the Obergefell decision, there used to be a law that Congress passed that said marriage is between a man and a woman. It was called the Defense of Marriage Act. Right. And there were county clerks. I remember there was some crazy lady in Kentucky who wouldn't issue a marriage license. That all got thrown out. So they have to honor. USCIS honors it, So that person just needs a new pastor, or needs to go to the courthouse and get
So
married.
is the destination wedding okay? Because she was
Yeah,
thinking of coming to New York,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then when maybe a year or two from now, because she lives in Wisconsin, she wanted to file there, so that's okay.
Why is she gonna wait a year or two?
I don't know. She was just saying that they have to have like
Well,
the
just getting married, but just getting married won't help out her fiance. The just
no,
getting
I know they've been together for 5 years, so she recently came up, so she's now thinking of doing it. So I really don't know. She just
and I
had
would
me
and I would
asking.
do it. I would do it sooner rather than later. I mean, for one thing, fees go up on April 1st, but that's probably too fast for them. But the other thing is, you know, they struck down Roe v. Wade. Now they're after IVF, and they definitely have gay marriage back on the agenda. So I would get married sooner rather than later. I would start the process sooner rather than later because they're going to have a much
I
better
think the
shot now.
problem is gathering the evidence. Because she recently got her house, I think it was the end of February. So her mortgage, so she want to put her on her mortgage, but I really don't know that process, that part of it. I'm not a lawyer, so
So
I'm just
tell her to come on the show. I'll be happy to talk to her, but they're not going to be able to put her on all that stuff until she gets a work card, which she's only going to get after getting married and filing for a green card.
oh, okay. All
So
right.
their thinking is all backwards.
Okay. Can she call your law firm though to get some advice, like
Well, if
talk?
she wants advice, she can come on. If she wants advice, come on the show. If she wants to hire us, she can call the firm.
All right, I'll tell her that. Now, the second person said, she said, if someone stands affidavit of support for me with his wife currently files for citizenship, will this affect her process? Even though the husband was once her sponsor?
So the question is, so if
So
a
the
lady
husband
if a lady wants to apply for citizenship, but her husband has sponsored somebody else, like on the affidavit of support,
the husband wants to sponsor somebody else. Is that possible?
is it going to hurt the person's citizenship case?
Right.
No.
Okay. And the last question here, it says, what if my case was denied through the humanitarian process? Will this affect me? Will this affect anything in the future if I were to marry to a US citizen?
Probably not,
Okay.
unless they lied.
Right. All right. That's all
Thanks
the
for the
questions.
call. Yep. See ya.
Have a good day.
You got it. All right. Our old friend Aquia Spaces is here.
Hey, what's good? What's good, Jim?
I never knew what Aquia Spaces meant, but then I drove by a store here in St. Louis and it had Aquia something on it, and I was like, that's my boy. How you
I
doing?
see that. I see that when I go on the road. I see. I got the term Aquasius when I was watching Harry Potter one day. I thought I heard the word Aquasius. I could never find it on the internet, but I'm like, you know what? That's my word. I like that.
Nice.
All right. So, I'm still dealing with that domestic court case that I got coming up in May.
Yep.
My attorney had told me that he can't be 100% certain, but he's about 90% certain that after the court date in May that I would be able to be free to leave the court and drop everything behind. So I scheduled my because in May or in February we weren't able to actually do the marriage. There wasn't enough time.
I remember.
Yeah. Okay. So
So you had to go back to Ecuador.
yep, I'm going back there in May.
Yeah.
They're gonna my mother-in-law is trying to get the dates set up for May 21st. She tells me that for certain on Monday it will be set up. I hope so. So even though I can't really do anything because I'm waiting to see how much the court fees will be for my domestic case and all that until I can start actually putting money towards the immigration scenario, I still keep trying to keep active on it. So I'd be looking on internet, online, on everything that I can assure the security of success and everything of that nature and the process. Some places I've been. This is what I wanted to ask you. Some places I'm finding that my fiance would have to learn English for the interview, and okay,
Nope.
okay, okay. So um in tandem with that there's some other sources that say that maybe there will be translator, maybe not.
Usually, I mean, the embassy officials, I think, are in charge. Other people might comment. Rocio might have some guidance on this. I think generally it's supposed to be up to you, but I think generally it's up to the consulate. But I would think everybody working at the embassy in Ecuador can speak Spanish, so I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, it's going to be 1 year waiting period until there's going to be an interview for my fiance at the embassy in Ecuador, the U.S. embassy in Ecuador, and you're most likely the people that work at the U.S. embassy in Ecuador, they would be able to speak Spanish, so most likely there would not be a problem. Okay, I was wondering if there was a chance that I could be able to be present and translate for her, but I cannot be present for the interview.
I mean, almost for sure, no, and I don't want you there anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like having the U.S. citizen there. Nothing good happens by having a U.S. citizen at an embassy interview, and they won't let you in anyway.
Oh.
Because if you're there, then they split you up, and then they start saying, "Hey, what about that domestic violence charge you have?" Old Aqueous faces, and then just bad shit happens. I don't want you talking to them.
Okay. So after a year comes from the initiation of the whole immigration case, then she will go to the U.S. embassy for her interview. I won't even be involved. I just got to make sure she knows everything that I could tell her, everything that she should know.
Yep.
So that she can answer all the questions correctly. Okay. And then to sum up this chat real quick, after that 1 year, after that interview, then it would be about approximately 1 year after that for USCIS to approve of a green card, and that would be how the process would go.
No, that's different. So this is what we're talking about. So you go down and get married in May.
Yes.
Let's say you apply on July 1st.
Yes.
July 1st, you file with your marriage evidence, you file your I-130 petition, and then that's going to be pending at USCIS for about a year.
Yes.
And they say approved. We believe this is a valid marriage. We believe this is for love and not just to get her an immigration benefit. Then your case gets sent to the National Visa Center. So you're going from USCIS to the State Department. You're going from one agency to another. So USCIS is done with her and with you at that point, for the most part. Then you go to the National Visa Center and you sort of do it all over again. You file at that point, you pay some more fees, and you file this thing called the DS-260, which is an electronic version of all the information you put in the I-130. And then you submit more updated marital evidence, and that's when you submit the affidavit of support showing that you make enough money or that you and your co-sponsor make enough money. And then once they're happy, then they say your case has become what's called documentarily qualified, DQ'd. And then once you're DQ'd, then you're waiting for the embassy in Ecuador to say, we have a spot for Mrs. Spaces, and we can schedule her in here in about 6 or 8 weeks. Then she's going to do her medical down there in Ecuador. And then after that, she has her interview, and then hopefully they say, leave us your passport and we'll get it back to you in a day or two or a week. And then they send her the passport. And then once you find out her visa has been issued, then you pay her Ellis fee, which is to get her the green card. And then what's supposed to happen is after she arrives, her green card's supposed to arrive like 3 or 4 weeks later.
Okay. So everywhere I can find, it seems that generally the whole process would take approximately 2 years, approximately, give or take. So it would be 1 year from the initiation point to USCIS saying, go ahead, next people can take over. And then once the next people take over, after the 1 year, then it would kind of trickle down to the U.S. embassy in Ecuador, and then that would take another year. And then after she passes,
Ecuador is pretty fast, so I think it'll probably be a little bit less.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Yep. Take care.
Buddy. See you soon. Today is Pi Day. Everyone's pointing out today's Pi Day, 3.14, March 14th, 314. And now listen. If you know what our text line is, then you know what the area code is in St. Louis. Who knows the text line number? 314-470-3300. That's the text line. So our area code is 314. So in St. Louis, we make a really big deal about 314. And I saw Laura said she's going to get a pie. And there used to be a great deep dish pizza place in St. Louis called Pie Pizzeria. And we made the foolish mistake to take the kids there, and there was a really long line. And my kid Ismail, he had a meltdown, as he used to often have meltdowns. So we had a huge meltdown at Pi on Pi Day. So a little trauma with Old Pi Day here on our end. But anyway, St. Louis being area code 314, it's sort of a big deal around here. I'm going to go to Jonathan, and then I'm going to go to Henry. Hi, Jonathan. Jonathan's heading outside. We know this, the old walking outside walk. We know this walk. Let me go someplace else where I can talk. Oh, the hallway. Oh, we're in the stairwell. Perfect.
No, we have a chat room, I guess, here in
nice.
the office.
Perfect.
How are you, Jim?
I'm good, Jonathan. How you doing, man?
Good, man. So glad to be here. I've been watching you for over probably a year now. It's gonna be funny. Showing this live to my wife later.
Yeah, great. What's up?
So I have a couple questions. So I'm married. Let me start from the beginning, actually. So I've been here. I came to the United States when I was 8 years old. I tried to fix papers through my mom, who is a resident, and she this started back in 2017, and I've been waiting for the I-671A since 2020 of August. But that case was the previous one, and recently in June of 2024 of 2023, I got married because, as you know, with child protection status, you can't be married, right? So, I wasn't going to be waiting any longer. I fell in love with someone, and I just didn't want to be, my case still hasn't been decided. My I-601A is still pending somewhere. They're not probably even looking at it.
Right.
And I was just wondering.
Did you get DACA?
No, I missed it by 1 year. Yeah. So, but I started the application with my wife in July of last year, and I got my work permit probably 5 months after, and then I received an RFE, just the medical. And also for my case right now, my lawyer, he didn't want to submit marriage evidence because I guess it was so brand new. He was probably gonna, I don't know. He told me we were gonna wait till the interview. I don't know. So
usually a bad idea. Wait,
yeah,
so
that's what
did you enter without inspection, or did you have a visa and overstay?
Yes, I had a visa and overstayed.
Okay, so why'd you need the waiver for the unlawful?
The I-601A?
Yeah, your mom's not a citizen, huh?
No, she's a resident.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so you entered. When did you enter?
2008, I believe, the last time.
On a visit visa or what?
Visa.
And then you overstayed, and then you married a U.S. citizen last year?
Yes.
And you filed an I-130 and a 45 and a 765 and a 131 and affidavit of support in the medical.
Yes.
And then your lawyer said, don't submit a bunch of evidence. We'll just deal with this at the interview. That was dumb.
Yeah, because, now they requested an evidence. They requested my medical exam last year.
Yeah.
But that's all. And they received it in July 17. And and I think they've received it on September 20 something
of 2020.
And that's what
2020.
Yeah, and that's what I've been waiting for. I haven't got anything back since, So that's what I was going to ask you. Am I just in the waiting period, or what's going on?
Let me ask you, do you think you have a complicated immigration history, or do you think you have a straightforward immigration history?
Probably complicated.
I'd say a little messy. I don't think, and it's not horrible. I mean, the best thing is you have that visa and the valid entry. That's the best thing. So that's all good, right? But if you had an old I-130 filed by your mom as an unmarried son of an LPR, and then you all of a sudden file a new I-130, maybe without withdrawing that old one and with the waiver still pending, then what this means is there's just lots of Jonathan paperwork all stacked on top of each other, and nobody has sat down and organized it and figured out, what does this dude want? What does he want? I mean,
right.
September of 2023 isn't that long anyway, and if they ask for the medical, then it seems like things are moving along.
So do you think I should withdraw my last case with my mom?
Well, it is over, right? So I think cleaning that up might help move things along, but I would wait I wouldn't do anything like that till September. I think you'll have your green card by then. I think you just chill.
So, also in the meantime, I've been gathering a lot of evidence, where we live, photos. I probably have like this thick of evidence in the amount of time that we've been together. I
Yeah,
was
but
just wondering.
you might not get an
Go ahead.
interview. I mean, you might not get an interview if I mean, I would think that you would, but
I mean, it's weird because last year or in August of 20, the last time I went, they fingerprinted me, and that was in my mom's case. And in this case, I didn't even require a fingerprint.
and you said you got your work card, right?
Yeah, and it was with the picture I took with my mom's case. I didn't have.
So, but it was a work card from this case with your wife.
Yeah, they didn't
So
require a fingerprint for.
I think that's a good sign because that means that they're not completely locked up, not knowing what to do with old Jonathan. I think you're just waiting for it to process out.
Okay, so how long do you think I should be waiting before it's too long? Because I'm not worried anymore. You know, I can work. That was my biggest concern.
What city do you live in? Like, what immigration office is near you?
Kansas City.
Oh yeah, so I would think you'll get it sometime this summer.
Hopefully by my birthday.
There you go.
Okay, well, thank you, Jim. I really appreciate it. My wife.
See you, buddy.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Have a
day.
good day. Tell your wife I said hi.
I will. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go to Henry and then Ashani. Henry, how are you?
Hi, Jim. How are you? It's an honor to be here. I'm really grateful to have access to this. I just called your office and she said there's a show starting in 5 minutes, and here we are. So I typed up my question as fast as I can.
I appreciate that.
All right, very good. So basically, I have the access to assist people in immigration application filling out. I'm pretty new to it, but
Wait. Hold on.
Sure.
What did you say?
So basically, like I have like customers that we do taxes for example.
Yeah, no, that's called notarios. I don't help notarios. I'm sorry, Henry.
What's that?
Notarios are fake lawyers that fill out people's immigration forms.
Oh, no, like, helping them, like when I look at the information and say like, all right, well, look.
Are you a lawyer?
No, I don't give legal advice at all. But this person that came to me is like in a really bad situation.
Nope.
So I said, let me see if I could go on the show and let them know what happened to you guys.
No, I can't help. Sorry, Henry.
You can't help who?
You or them. I don't help people that are being represented by fake lawyers.
Oh, I'm not an attorney. I'm not representing them.
Filling out forms. You're practicing law without a law license.
Well, if they send me their forms and tells me, that the lawyer that they're working with has lied to them and has taken them on the whole like rodeo about doing a process that they never began. It's a special immigration. It's a juvenile, like these young kids that went with an attorney that never.
Are you working for an agency? Or are you working? What's the name of what is the kind of a thing that you're working at? Is it like a pro bono for free agency?
Yeah, so it's pretty much a place that I volunteer. There's no money. It's me given now the opportunity to jump into with the USCIS. So with the
you're going to become an accredited representative.
Advocate, correct.
So you're talking. I'm sorry. So you're talking about like pro bono stuff to help people that are getting screwed, as opposed. You and your organization aren't charging people for this.
No.
Got it. Okay.
So right. I have my own business, my own practice, but I'm coming across situations because my wife does what's called ITINs for immigrants, and that's where a lot of that, comes from.
Let's talk hypothetically.
Okay.
Talk to me hypothetically about what's the situation.
All right. So young group under 21, and the immigration process started for them with the special immigrant juvenile status. Okay. Yep. So they filled out, whatever they filled out with the attorney in hopes that a process has began. Now, from my understanding that
just real quick, with someone for sure is an attorney.
Yeah, they're an attorney. They gave me their names, and I said, all right, well, I mean, what have they done for you? And they were like, I don't know. It's been 2 years. So one of the kids just is turning 21 next month. So his window has just shrunk to have advantage of this opportunity that he had. So now the whole thing is this attorney never went to court to file anything with the family court. That's supposedly like one of the first 5 steps. And they've been giving them the runaround like, the judge is going to get back to us with a date. And the whole time it's been a lie. The girl and the brother went to the family court to see what they filed with their identification and gave the lawyers information, and she never filed anything. And this is a young group that, I mean, the girl calls me while she's cleaning dishes. I hear the dishes in the background.
Right.
So I said, hey, listen, I'm going to go and see what I can do to help.
Well, Henry, that's very nice of you. So believe it or not, I've never handled an SIJ case. So our firm has never handled those. What big city do you live in?
I'm in New York.
Is that where this person is?
Yes.
I think you got to find a clinic there that does those things and try to connect them to these kids. I'm sorry that happened. And they might have a claim, a cause of action against the lawyer for like legal malpractice. But I don't know. I think you're right that the first step is to go to the family court and get somebody appointed and all that stuff. But I don't know how to handle those cases.
Well, I thought you could like sue an attorney. I think you said for expediting a situation. I saw one of your videos, and that's what really caught my attention. I'm like, let me see if they could, because I mean the I don't know what the misrepresentation, the lies were like real, because as I'm speaking with this young girl for the past 2 weeks, she's been sending me text messages of the lie that we're waiting on a court date. And once she confronted the attorney and told her, I went to the court, I gave her my ID, there's nothing that has been filed, she pretty much has refunded most of the money, has tried to retain some of the money, and because of the fact that I'm still trying to investigate for this young group what to do, and the lack of response to the attorney, she's been slowly wiring the full amount of a refund, like just showing like.
It sounds like the refund is the secondary part. It sounds more like the at least the one that's about to turn 21, that they're sort of in real trouble.
Yeah, I mean that harmed them, and now the window for that. So is that something that your firm will take on? I mean,
no. So for a couple of reasons. One is they would need a malpractice lawyer in New York. I'm not licensed in New York. I can't get licensed in New York. So you need to find a legal malpractice lawyer. But really, the one thing I want to tell you is that whenever somebody harms you in any kind of a way, you always have a duty to mitigate, to try to make things better. You know, you can't, I'm not saying they're doing this, but you can't just lay on the ground and say, woe is me, this bad thing happened. You have to, and the most important thing, whether they ever get money out of this attorney or not, whether this attorney has malpractice insurance, that's sort of secondary. What they really need to focus on is how do we protect these kids if we can, and then you can operate on a second track with the legal malpractice claim, but that's sort of secondary.
Okay, sure. All right. So what was the litigation? Is that what you said? What kind of attorney?
A legal malpractice attorney.
All right.
Or it might say ethics attorney in New York.
All right.
All
Very
right.
Good. Thank you. All right. Appreciate your help.
Henry, I have a friend in New York, in Manhattan. Her name's Sue Yee. She's been on the show. TSUI is her first name, and YEE. I don't know if she does removal stuff. I don't know if she has done removal stuff. I don't know if she's done SIJs, but she might be able to point you to both those kinds of attorneys in New York.
Oh, she's in Manhattan?
She's in Manhattan, yeah.
All right. I'm sure I'll be able to track her on your channel. If not, I'll Google her. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate
Good luck, buddy.
All right.
All right. Well, see, being patient, and Henry's trying to help people out, and I almost jumped all over him, and I'm glad I didn't. Thank you, Henry. All right. Let's go to Ashani. Ashani's here. Hello, Ashani.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing?
What's up? Who's this with you? What is this? Are you in a limo or something?
Yeah, so I'm here with my spouse, and we have a few questions. I'm gonna let her take it away. She just got here yesterday.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go ahead.
So Shani and I, we've been together for many years, and we tried the visiting visa, the B1, B2 on 3 occasions, and he got denied. So now we want to do the K1 visa, but we were wondering what happens if we don't get married in the 90 days.
He was asking me about that the other day. Why was he asking me about that?
So then if he doesn't overstay, can we reapply later down the road for a K1 visa?
Why before you even start, you're thinking about not doing it the right way? I don't understand. Why are you doing it this way?
The sole purpose is to do it. That is the sole purpose of it.
Because we wanted to kind of like have a chance to live together before we go through the marriage. And I feel like 90 days is not giving people enough time to do all this.
Well, then that is something you need to take up with Congress. So you're saying he applied for a visit visa 3 times?
Mm-hmm. In 8
years. Yeah. Shawnee, what did you say was the reason you were coming for your visit? Because now I'm worried that they're going to say you were trying to misrepresent yourself trying so darn hard to come on a visit when really you wanted to just come out, hang out with your fiance or future wife?
Well, the first time I was visiting her friend got denied. The second time I was visiting an uncle by my mom's side. He's not an American citizen. He's a green card holder by marriage. I got denied. The third time which was last December, visiting my other uncle, which is my dad's brother, and his daughter filed for him.
Okay. What country are you from?
Jamaica.
So I hate to say it, and I sort of meant that about Congress. The law is not set up to do what you guys want to do. They're not going to, obviously, they're not going to let him come. The only way he's coming is if you get married or if you do a fiance. I think a fiance is even shaky right now after having applied for a visit 3 times. But it's either fiance or marriage, or you can live together in Jamaica. That's sort of the option, or some other third country.
There are no other type of job visas or stuff for Jamaican, like other. I'm French, so I actually became a citizen. It was really easy. I was there on a student visa. Then I got what did I get? Yeah, a B1, B2, a visiting visa. I overstayed. I just signed a waiver. Then I got married. I got my green card right away. I got my citizenship in like 3 years.
When did you become a citizen?
2013.
Okay. So no, and here's the thing: there are other visas, but they're not giving any of them to Shawnee because he's tried for he's made it crystal clear that he really, 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 really wants to be in the United States. And when the embassy figures out that someone really, really, really wants to be in the United States, then the one thing that they do is make sure not to let him come to the United States. That's why I'm worried even about a fiance case now.
The fiance case would be strong, that for sure, because we've known each other.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're going to be mad at him for having applied for a visit all this time.
Mm-hmm.
So they might just be malicious about it.
I mean, here's the thing. If I had to rank what are the strongest, so marriage cases are always stronger than fiance cases. So I always like marriage cases better than fiance cases. Mm-hmm. And also there's this trick with fiance cases where USCIS says, yeah, we leave the relationship, but then it gets to the embassy and they just let the case die. They just never finish the case. And then you have to start all over.
Okay, so USCIS acknowledge it as being legitimate, but when it goes to the embassy, they ignore it. And then once it goes into limbo beyond that time frame, you'd have to reinitiate it.
And probably get married at that point. Yep.
Okay. So you even though you don't advise it regarding the fiance visa, do you have to be officially engaged, like taking pictures and stuff like that? Like,
do you want to win your case?
Yes.
Yeah, then yeah.
Okay. And now I'm just asking.
If you're asking me, Jim, should we do sort of like a really thin fiance case so I can come and hang out for a while, and then I'll leave before the deadline, and then we'll do a K1 later on when we're really ready? I think that's what you were asking me the other day.
No, I was just asking because
you actually this is right. David points out he's right. One there's two important parts to any K1. One is that you've been in each other's physical presence in the last 2 years. So we got that. That's easy. But the other one is that you have to sign an affidavit that says that your intention is to get married within 90 days of arrival.
Okay. Right, because she was last year last time she was here was in December.
Well, you got it right now just because you're sitting together.
Yeah. And I'm talking previously to now.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, so you guys go think about it and let me know what you think, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Bye, guys. All right. Shaw's here. What's up, Shaw?
How are you doing, Jim?
I'm good.
Thank you very much. Everything is fine here.
I like your hat, matches your shirt. I like that.
Thank you very much. Actually, my hairstyle was not appropriate and not good looking, so I decided to wear a cap.
All good. What's up?
I was discussing with my brother, and he told me about watching your videos, and then I go through from your videos since couple of weeks, and I really, really see that you have the depth of knowledge. I'll tell you about myself that I'm working and living in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, since 10 years. almost. And from the last 2 years, like I started my own business, 3 years, sorry, approximately. I am running a couple of businesses. One is like automotive business, and one is like general trading business.
Mhm.
So for one of the business, I'm working as a chief executive, and the other one, I have the 49% like partnership in that business, and I have another partner with me with 51% of shares. Now, I have a B1, B2 visa. I visited United States like couple of times 2 years back. Me and my wife both have B1, B2 visa. And my daughter was born in USA like 1.5 year ago, and we got like her passport as well.
Did you pay all your medical bills?
Half of it.
Yeah, so that's going to be a hard time next time you try to get your visa renewed. If you don't pay off those bills or get them written off, you're going to have trouble.
Yeah, I am planning to pay it off like maybe in the same month, coming month, like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So that I'll take care of it. Now, I was wondering like what is the most fastest like possible way to get immigration in United States? Like what kind of visa status I can apply for, or me and my wife and my kid, like, you know, all of us.
What kind of passport do you have? What country passport do you have?
Pakistani citizen.
Yeah. So have you heard of an E2 investor visa?
Yes, I do.
So that's probably going to be your best bet, unless you can find an employer that wants to sponsor you. But if you want to start a company in the United States and support yourself, it sounds like you have the entrepreneurial spirit and you've started businesses before. So I think those are the kinds of cases that do well with an E2,
Okay.
as opposed to people who are like, I've tried to get an H-1B 3 times and I don't really know anything about this business, but I'm going to open up a franchise of something like that. That's not a good E2. So if you want to talk to Andrew in our office, he handles all of our E2s. He's really knowledgeable with that stuff.
Okay.
Huli can set you up. Just send an email to info@ and we'll set that up and you can talk to Andrew about trying to do that. He really likes working on those cases. They're fun cases and we've handled a bunch of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, I would like to talk to Andrew and then discuss in further detail about my case and then, you know, just to go ahead with that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so very much for your time.
Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right. Now I'm torn because it is Thursday and, you know, everybody likes to hang out not on camera. And I have a couple people not on camera, but I have lots of people on camera in the waiting room. So, you know, I have to go to them first to see if we can break the Thursday streak. Jay, what's up?
Can I be off camera, please?
There it is. There it is. All right, Jay. How you
Hey, how are you?
Now I can call on whoever I want. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing great. I just want to say that I'm an ardent follower of your show, and today I had a few questions. I'm hoping you can guide me.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to give a brief history of myself. I came to the United States in 2018, and I came on asylum, and I've been here since then. So
Hold on. You mean you came as a refugee, or you came on a visit and applied for asylum?
I came on a visa, B2 visa, and then applied for asylum within the 1-year period.
Great.
So when I came alone, and my daughter is back home. She's almost 20 now.
Okay.
So I've been here all this time, and then sometime towards the end of last year, I met someone and we got married in February.
And your asylum case is still pending?
My asylum case is still pending.
No interview?
No interview yet.
Got
Nothing. I've not had anything from them.
And you married a U.S. citizen?
Yes, now I'm married to a U.S. citizen, but I had a few questions. So while my asylum was pending, I applied for my daughter humanitarian parole because she was going through some issues. And unfortunately, that was denied around September last year.
Okay.
So last year she was 19, this year she's 20. I've just gotten married. So I was wondering, I don't have any evidence here to use for filing. So definitely my evidence is going to be very thin.
Yeah.
Is it possible to just use what I have, or I can wait? I should wait rather.
I mean, if that kid's going to age out, I'd file sooner rather than later. I'd try to develop as much evidence as I can. How long have you been together with the person that you're marrying?
Well, it's not long. We just got married and he's moving in this week. So he lives in a different town. So basically it will be like almost 3 months.
And he's a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And was he born in the United States?
Yes.
Has he ever sponsored someone for an immigration benefit before?
No.
And as we sit here today, is your daughter 19, 20, or 21, or what?
She's currently 19. She's turning 20 in November.
November. Okay.
Yes.
Well, then I'd give it a little bit of time
Okay.
and try to see if you can build it a little stronger. I'd say, get the addresses together, get some evidence going together. I guess you don't have a social security number or anything, so that's going to be a little tough.
No, I do have a social security and a work
Oh, from your
permit.
asylum
I'm
case.
currently working, from my
Yeah,
asylum case.
So I would open up accounts all over God's green earth with you and your spouse at once he's moved into your address, and then I would just make sure your lease is up to date, that the people that you rent from know that he lives there, and start building it. I'd say I would do like an all-out sprint in like 4 or 5 weeks, try to make it as strong as possible.
Okay.
Oh, wait, David's right. David is right. David, thank you so much. I think David's a lawyer. David, are you a lawyer? You always have good points. Thank you, David. You got married after she was 18, right?
Yes. So I was just coming to that question actually, because now she's 18. When we are doing my own filing, I know, is it possible to do a concurrent filing for her, or I'll just have to wait until I get my green card, then I can apply for her?
Yeah, you have to apply for her as a green card holder, and she'll be F2B. That's right. Thank you, David. David kept me from giving bad advice. So yeah, so she's in a different category. So she, in a way, she's already sort of aged out because you got married after she was 18. So what'll happen is, your new husband can't file for her. Only you can file for her, and you can't file for her until you're a green card holder. And then she can't get married either. She has to stay unmarried. So I'm sorry. You already knew that, I think, before you called.
Yeah, I think I was all this time I was under the impression that I can file for her, but then I asked someone, and then they said no. If she already turned 19, you can't file for her.
And they're right, and David's right. So David gets the win of the day. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And now when I'm putting in my filing, when we are doing my I-485, since I already have a work permit and social security, will I need to apply for that again, or I'll just wait for the green card?
Well, let's change our whole discussion for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fees are going up April 1st, right?
Yes.
So I think you should try to gather as much evidence as you can next week and file before April 1st.
Yeah, basically, I have most of it. The only thing I think I'm currently missing is the medical, which I can arrange for anytime next week.
Yep.
But I have the car insurance. We've already done that. Medical for my workplace lease. We are doing it. We are finalizing it by tomorrow. We have a few bills already in our name, and then we have our marriage license, photos, and now I need to do the medical.
I would even file without the medical if you had to.
Oh, okay.
All right. But if you can get the medical, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just looking at most of the applications, the RFEs were mostly medical. So I was just thinking I should just get it done and do away with that.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jean. I'll continue watching your show. I appreciate you.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Yep, bye. All right. Quick question. What you got? Quick question.
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much for picking me.
Sure.
So my question is, I recently did my biometrics, and I noticed on the form, I applied for everything, employment authorization, advanced parole, everything. But on the form, it was only the green card and the employment authorization there. The advanced parole wasn't there. What does that mean?
What do you mean? The receipt for the receipt notices?
So when you go to do your biometrics, right? Yes, for the receipt notice, there's a form that they fill out.
Well, yeah. Did you get a receipt notice for your 131?
I don't think so, but I applied for it though, but I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing a receipt notice for 131, but I did apply for it.
Well, I mean, typically my understanding, and you got the people in the comments do a lot more biometrics than I do. I don't ever go to biometrics appointments, but I think generally it's all categorized under the I-485. But if I were you, I would check to make sure that you have your receipt for your I-131. Otherwise, I'd call USCIS and try to track it down. And if not, I would file for it before April 1st.
But I know for sure that I filed for it though. But like I said, I have to check to see if I got a receipt notice.
Okay, but in answer to your question, I'm not too worried about the fact that not every form you applied for was listed when you went to your biometrics. I'm not worried about that.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, my second question is: yesterday, I know you were mentioning about names for immigrants and all, which
Yeah.
was terrible, right?
Yeah.
So, what would you advise in terms of corporate jobs? So, I don't have an English name. I only have like my local name. So, in terms of when I'm applying for corporate jobs and all, what did you advise that I keep my local name? And
I think that's all. I think that's all for you. It's all whatever you want.
okay.
I think if somebody's going to get hung up on, some employer's going to get hung up on that, it's probably not a place you want to work. So I wouldn't sweat that at all. I think that's totally what you want to do.
All right. Okay. That's it.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. Yeah. All right. Bye. USA in the house. He's been waving and jumping around.
Hi, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for picking me.
You got it.
Jim, please, I have a couple of questions, but before I want to remind you of my case. I hope you remember me quickly. I told you I came with a J1 visa, and then I switched to F1, and then I got married.
Right. Do you have the 2-year return home requirement?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. All right.
And I remember I told you I did not receive my work permit and I've been waiting for 12 months for it.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So there is an update on my case. They did ask me for the medical exam, and when I go on my USCIS account on website, the website, I see there is only 4 weeks waiting on the I-130 processing time, but on the I-751, the work permit, it's a lot, 2 months more.
You mean the I-765?
Yeah, the I-765.
So what's the
It's
question? Do I believe at all anything they put on stated processing times? Is that what you're asking me? I don't. I don't spend any time thinking about that or worrying about that because they just make shit up.
Yeah. So once I submit my medical exam, when do you think, in your experience, when do you think the interview will be?
Maybe you won't get an interview. I would think the whole case has been on file for a year.
Yeah, by this time it's 13 months waiting.
Yeah, that's a long time. So did they ask you for the medical or what happened? Did you get that letter?
Yeah, they asked me for the medical, and I'm gonna submit it. I'm gonna do it this Saturday, and I'm gonna take it to my lawyer.
Yep. So I think maybe just another month or two, probably pretty quickly.
Yeah, awesome. Jim, please, the second question is, so when I came on the J1 visa, they gave me a Social Security, and on my Social Security it says only work
only with valid
with the Homeland Security approval and all that. But I am working right now with a company here, and they did not see my Social Security. I just gave them the number, and they hired me,
Mm-hmm.
And they've been giving me checks, and now it's the tax season, and I am gonna file jointly with my wife.
Good.
And last year when I was working under the table before, but we filed that I made zero and my wife made the money. So this year, I don't know, if this business put me under 1099 or I don't know how I'm gonna do it,
Well, you should ask them, and then you should talk to a tax person. I don't know anything about all that stuff.
But if they give me checks, you think I should file that I made money, not that I made zero, right?
I think you should talk to a CPA and ask them what you should do. I don't know anything about that. That's all. That's not immigration.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate your help.
Good luck, buddy. You got it. All right, Andy and Marla are here. What's up?
Hi, good to talk to you. I'm a U.S. citizen and I live in Florida. My question to you today is if you owe back taxes, we're very new to the immigration process. We haven't done any paperwork. We're in a relationship, and we're trying to figure out what would I need to do, because I didn't file for 2 years, so I need to get that first thing done. And you talked about medical bills, owing medical bills and taxes.
Medical bills are okay for U.S. citizens. It's just that one of the things for visit visas, especially when someone comes to the United States and gives birth and then skips out of the country without paying their medical bills, the embassies usually don't like that. Neither does CBP. And somehow they all figure that out. I don't know how they do, but they do, right? So that you don't have to worry about. So you're saying you're a U.S. citizen and you're in a relationship with a non-citizen and you're thinking about applying for a green card for them?
Yes, I believe I qualify for a sponsor based on my income. I worked as a nurse tech, and my income was I was trying to. I'm so confused about that 175%. How do you look at how much I needed to make in order to be his sponsor without getting a supplemental sponsor?
Let me make it sort of how I think about it in my head, okay? What I ask myself is, on my tax returns for the last 3 years, which would be 2023, 2022, and 2021, did I make $27,500, $28,000 a year each of those years on my adjusted gross income? So if I
adjusted gross, okay.
Adjusted gross income, if I have that and no other dependents, if I have any other dependents, then I have to add $5,500 for each person.
No, we're a cute older couple. We're in our 55. He's from England. I'm from the USA. We met on a CB radio chat, and we've known each other for years. But then we started this video conferencing back and forth, and we visited. This will be my third visit. I'm going in April. He's coming here March. So we're doing a lot of documenting. I wanted to know how social media was going to be good or bad for that, because I've been doing some stuff on TikTok and to document so it helps me with my dates at 55. We definitely need to remember who we were together to file these papers. So yeah, is that going to hurt anything, all this cutie thing that I'm doing on the TikTok with our stuff and the YouTube channel, uploading stuff?
As long as there's nothing that makes it seem as if the relationship isn't real or that someone's in a relationship with somebody else, as long as it's not that, it's all good.
No, we don't have any dependents. We're just a couple of two older folks that really adore each other. But wanted to think about, the paperwork, like, well, do I even qualify? So at 27,000, yes. The sad part is that the UK is increasing. Oh my God, it scared me to death. He may not be able to qualify to be a sponsor if we decide to go that way, because they're putting theirs up to close to 30,000, and they don't make that much.
Where is he right now? Is he in England or is he in the United States?
Oh yeah, he's in England. Yeah, he's coming just to visit, and he's going back home. And I'm going there to visit and go back home too. So we'll be on our third visit.
Are you married yet or no?
We're thinking about it. We're really thinking about it.
Great. Well, stay in touch. Let us know if we can help, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Marla.
I watch you all the time. It was cute watching you get your nose hairs plucked.
that was a good one. Yep.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you. Bye.
Hey, a fellow TikToker likes my crazy nose hair pulling. How about that? Maybe we'll have to do that live one day, maybe for episode 600. What the heck? Lana's here. Hi, Lana.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I don't know if you remember me. I've come to your show a couple of times, and you've been super helpful.
Awesome. Well, we can keep it going.
Yeah, I'll give a quick background for anyone who might be listening or watching.
Yeah.
I-130 petition. I'm a U.S. citizen. Petition for my husband, who is a foreign national, Dominican Republic. I'm here. We got all the way to the DQ stage from the NBC, December 4th of 2023.
Yeah.
Since then, I mean, they said they would work with the embassy here in Santo Domingo to schedule the interview. Haven't heard anything. It's been obviously more than the 90 days they claim that they would normally aim to take up to. So I wanted to ask you, what would be, or at what point do we consider it delayed, or if anything I can do on my end once it makes it to this step of the process?
I would say certainly not within 6 months. I would spend some time on chat boards seeing what other people's cases are getting
Yeah.
processed from when. I mean, 90 days seems very, very optimistic. I don't know any embassies that are getting, I mean, some are getting cases 90 days after DQ'd, but Santo Domingo isn't one of them. So I would say 6 to 9 months. I'd probably start worrying at about 9 months.
Okay. So I've been doing that, and it's been difficult to find, but I'll keep digging to get a little bit of an idea. The other question I have for you is today, unfortunately, I received news from my husband's mother. She's in the U.S. She's alone, and they found a tumor in her brain.
Mhm.
If, let's say, things turn out not to be good, would you? What's your advice on requesting a expedite? Is that even a thing for a parent of the beneficiary for a medical?
I have no objection to asking. I just wouldn't get my hopes up. I don't think they'll
Yeah.
say let your U.S. citizen spouse take care of him.
Yep, got it.
Or-
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
No worries. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you.
Awesome. See you, Lana. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Let's go to Stuck in a Black Box. What do you say, Stuck in a Black Box? Can't hear me? Stuck in a Black Box. Might have to come back for old Juma. I don't know what's going on. Bandir. What's up, Bandir?
Hey, Jim, how are you?
You're not driving, are you?
Oh, no, I'm not.
What's up?
So, I got married to a U.S. citizen February 2024, last month. And
Congratulations.
thank you. We've been together since 2019. She worked in a foreign country. I am a foreign national from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I'm 24 years old. She's 34 years old. And we've taken trips together in Saudi and in other countries.
She's a U.S. citizen?
She is a U.S. citizen, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And, so in 2022, I got a U.S. visa to come here. And so I visited her for like 4 times. And then on the 5th time, we got married. And so that was basically within the first 90 days of my arrival to the U.S.
Well, was it after 60 days?
No.
So you got married within the first 60 days of arrival?
Yes.
Okay, that's not good.
And
That's
so, yeah. So now she filed for a petition I-130. I'm going back home. So we'll do it through the consular processing.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask, like, what do you think is like good and not good? And obviously I got one that's not good. So
Yeah. So it's interesting because okay. The reason there's a rule about 60 days is that when you come on a B1, B2, that's a non-immigrant visa, and you're not supposed to have what's called immigrant intent.
right.
And so one of the ways they work with that is if somebody comes and gets married within 60 days of arrival and applies for a green card, then USCIS presumes or pretends or assumes that that person had immigrant intent and that they basically misrepresented their way into the United States. I don't think that rule or theory even holds water if the person is going back home to consular process like you are. Right? So because you're not staying to try to adjust your status. You could try it, but after having gotten married before the 60 days were up, I would recommend against that. So I think it should be okay. It's just going to take a lot longer, and you're going to be separated a lot longer. And at some point, they might not let you back into the United States, but they keep letting you in. So, who knows?
Okay. So basically we're talking about a year and a half, 2 years maybe, or maybe even longer.
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
You grew up in Saudi? Do you live in Saudi?
Yes.
So you'll process in Riyadh?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. I think this will be okay.
And do you think the processing times in that embassy is considered, I don't know, kind of
average? Average.
Average. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're talking a year at USCIS, a couple months at the National Visa Center, and then 6 or 7 months waiting for an interview at the embassy in Saudi.
And regarding the age gap that we have, which is 10 years, do you think that would raise any suspicions or?
Have you ever been married before?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. 10 years is nothing around here. We had someone the other day, 45 years.
Okay, I see.
I think
So, so the only thing would probably be just the fact that I got married in the first 60 days, but then I went back home now, so it shouldn't be a big of a problem.
yeah. And would it be fair to say that until you came on this show that you didn't know about that 60-day rule?
Yes.
Yeah. So show them this tape. I mean, you can, we can prove that you just found out about it on here by talking to me, right?
Sounds good to me.
You can't play videos for them, but you get my point. I think if you didn't know about it, that's a whole big defense.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously, if I did, I would have just pushed it 2 months, right?
Or just a little longer. Yeah. Thanks, Bandar. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you. Take care.
You, man. You too. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. Lexi has a good thought. Maybe it was hard for them to get married in Saudi, and they got married here. That's good. Episode 553 will be tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Central. A little later than today. 2:30 p.m. Central. I'm going to go to Friday prayer tomorrow. I had a hearing tomorrow. Sometimes you guys know these cases. We talk about them here on the show sometimes, where somebody files an I-130 petition, it gets approved, it gets sent to the embassy, and then the embassy, for whatever reason, doesn't like the case, and they send it back for possible revocation. You know those cases? Well, this one, we actually sued to try to get them to issue the notice of intent to revoke. We wanted to figure out why they were sitting on the case. So I had a hearing tomorrow, and the U.S. attorney and the government, I think, really didn't want to go see that judge tomorrow. He's a federal judge, and he's done work with refugees before, I saw in his bio. So I was sort of excited about talking to him tomorrow. And lo and behold, 10 o'clock this morning, I get an email with a big-ass notice of intent to revoke. And they're like, can we not go forward anymore? Can we not go forward anymore? So we're dismissing the case, and the client is probably going to have us help them with the NOIR, notice of intent to revoke. But in any event, Glenn, maybe I will have some pie tonight. It is pie night. I hope you guys are well. I really love doing this show. It really helps me get through the day. And I'll tell you, I was sort of dragging before the show, but now I feel sort of energized to get me through till Sahur, which is about 7:10 tonight. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.